Answers from the big oil groups. I believe that when I was in Iraq in April 1998, we videotaped those children dying. They died in the hospitals without medicines. It was absolutely grotesque watching and videotaping some of these kids that were dying without medicines. Economic sanctions were done against Iraq. It's being done against other countries, and it has been done against Cuba for many, many, many years. It's being done against Venezuela. It's being done against many other countries. But the United States today, 10 years after 9/11, you're now at $14 trillion debt federally, but you're over $60 trillion in public debt. The United States is headed for even worse financial crisis. You're now at 9% unemployment nationally. The Great Depression had 25% highest unemployment. It was 25% in 1932. At 9%, you're feeling the effect. My community at Roseau River in Anishinaabe First Nation, we have 75% unemployment. Most of the First Nations in Canada are at that base. 70, 80, 90, even 90%, 95% unemployment. We've had 500 murdered and missing women. Now closer to 600 now. 600. And in Canada, what's happening is that there is no property rights. There is no property rights in Canada under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. All the oil that you're buying here in the United States, the 2.5 million barrels of oil that comes from Canada, they do not pay the Indigenous people any payment for that oil. The devastation in the environment is clear. It takes anywhere from 2 to 4 barrels of oil to produce every barrel of oil that comes out of the tar sands. And the Indigenous people in that area are being devastated, all for oil. So what you're being told here in the United States is critically important for you to question. I wanted to, this handout here, I'll give you a little bit more information. I don't, I really want to be able to leave here with solutions, not just protesting, not just saying everything's bad. What do we do as individuals? Free trade involving Mexico, Canada. It has helped create jobs, but in the last little while too, there's been closer to 500 billion trade deficit for the United States per year, and mostly coming out of oil. You're paying for foreign oil, but also China. There's been the Chinese. You've traded with China in the last 10.5 years about $2.5 trillion. China has had a $2 trillion trade surplus with the United States. The American companies, in a bid for profit, have sourced all the American manufacturing jobs to other countries. China doesn't buy anything too much from the United States. They don't buy any of your exports. Over the last 10.5 years, China has only purchased something like $534 billion worth of your products. Canada, on the other side, has purchased over $2 trillion of American exports in the last 10.5 years. So those 34 million Canadians in Canada have been in the Buy America program.